Hi guys, BT-7A RT tank I'm making today. But firstly, if you wanna see more my videos, don't forget to subscribe. It's not so difficult for you, but I will be really happy. Okay, the history of BT-7A began in the United States. Actually, all series of BT tanks, BT-2, BT-5, BT-7, it's Soviet tanks, but the chassis of all of them was based on the Christie M1931 wheel-to-track tank designed by John Walter Christie for the United States Army. But only 7 units was built for the United States Army. After that, John Walter sold his tank to the Soviet Russia. Christie's tank was sent on a cargo ship and, according to documents, was named as an agricultural tractor. The Soviet military really liked its design and it became a basis for all BT tanks in the 1930s. The main feature of all BT tanks, all of them was wheel-to-track tanks, and BT-7A has the same construction of suspension. A major problem with tanks in World War I was track suspension failure. BT tank could be driven on a road on its wheels to get the starting point, and then the track fitted before it went into action on a cross-country terrain. Maximum speed on the wheels was 53 miles per hour and 31 miles per hour on the tracks. Excellent characteristics for those times. Just look at its mobility, it was fantastic. Operational range was 160 miles on the road, off-road 75 miles. In wheeled mode, early models required wrapping a chain around the drive and last road wheel. Later models didn't need the chain, but still needed the hub replaced on the last set of road wheels. And the tank turned around by pivoting the front road wheels. The driver was located in the control center in the nose of the combat vehicle. He used removable handlebar for driving on wheels and standard levers for driving on tracks. I made engine for my tank with pistons inside, V12 gasoline M17T with 450 horsepower. Placed it in engine and transmission compartment at the back side of the hull. With the red clay I made a fuel tanks at the same compartment. Plate shells in the middle section of the tank. With the turret it's called a battle compartment. Made the tailpipes and all hatches for the hull. Armor of the hull was 20 mm at the front, 13 mm at the side, and from 6 to 10 mm at another places. Turret has 10 to 15 mm of armor. Regular version of the BT-7 tank equipped it with 45 mm gun, but I made artillery support version BT-7A, which was equipped with a 76.2 mm short barrel howitzer. In the rear niche installed the DT machine gun. Another DT machine gun was installed in the frontal part of the turret. It wasn't a coaxial machine gun, it was installed separately from the main gun. All these weapons in the turret were serviced by 2 crew members, a commander, who also served as a gunner, and a loader. 153 BT-7A artillery tanks were produced between 1936 and 1938, but of them 21 were finished with normal BT-7 turret and 1 lacked a cannon. This particular tank was later used for testing 76.2 mm L11 and F-32 cannons. LC-11 tanks were equipped with horseshoe-shaped radio antenna. 40 rounds of ammunition was in the tank with the portable radio, and 50 rounds of ammunition was in the regular version. BT-7A tanks saw service in the Battle of Khalkhin Gol against Japan Army, in the Winter War in Finland, and in Second World War. During the battles of Khalkhin Gol, BT-7 tanks had a good result, but during the Winter War against Finland in 1939 to 1940, BT-7A tanks had less success against Finnish army forces than they had against the Japanese at Khalkhin Gol. 6 artillery tanks were actively used for fire support and advancing tanks and infantry, as well as for firing at the bunkers of the Finns and the counter-battery struggle. Interestingly, all 6 vehicles were damaged during the fighting, 4 damaged by artillery and 2 was blown up by landmines, but all of them were repaired and returned to the army. During the Second World War in Europe, BT-7A tanks were used in the 1939 Soviet invasion of Poland. The Red Army planned to replace the BT tank series with the T-34 and had just begun doing so when Operation Barbarossa, the German invasion of Soviet Union, began on June 1941. BT series tanks took part in large numbers in the battles that followed during 1941, during which thousands were abandoned or destroyed. A few remained in use in 1942, but rarely saw combat against German forces after that time. During the final weeks of World War II, a significant number of BT-7 tanks took part in the Soviet invasion of Manchuria in August 1945, seeing combat against Japanese occupation forces in northeast China. This was the last combat action for the BT tanks. So guys, thanks for watching, please subscribe to the channel. I hope I told you another interesting story, and see you at the next video.